Marcus Aurelius. Quite a fascinating person, I would say. He was one of the five great emperors, and if you think about it, it's almost 2,000 years ago, and it's just incredible to think wisdom has been passed down through all these generations, available for us to learn even later. I wanted to today do something a little bit different. There's a passage in his book, The Meditations, Chapter 5, Part 1. It's written in a language time frame where it's a little hard to understand sometimes, but I think it's a message that we all can understand. Have you ever woken up in the morning and just weren't motivated to do what you needed to do that day? This is kind of a passage that was Marcus Aurelius' thoughts on the topic. Hope you enjoy. In the morning when thou risest unwilling, let this thought be present. I am rising to the work of a human being. Why then am I dissatisfied if I'm going to do the things for which I exist and for the things which I was brought into this world? Or have I been made for this, to lie in the bedclothes and keep myself warm? But this is more pleasant. Dost thou exist to take thy pleasure, and not at all the actions or exertions? Dost thou not see the little plants, the little birds, the ants, the spiders, the bees working together to put order in their special part of this universe? And art thou unwilling to do the work of a human being? And dost thou not make haste to do that which is according to thy nature? But it is necessary to take rest also. It is necessary. However, the nature has been bound to do this too. She has fixed the bounds both to eating and drinking, and yet thou goest beyond these bounds, beyond what is sufficient. Yet in thy acts in doing not so, but thou stoppest short of what thou canst do. So thou lovest not thyself, for if thou didst, thou wouldn't love thy nature and her will. But those who love the several arts exhaust themselves in working at them, unwashed and without food. But thou valuest thy own nature less than the turning values the turning art, or the dancer the dancing art, or the lover of money values his money, or the vainglorious man in his little glory. And such men, when they have a violent affection to a thing, choose neither to eat nor sleep, rather than to perfect the things which they care for. But are the acts which concern society more vile in the eyes and less worthy of thy labor? I find that just fascinating. 2,000 years later, we're still battling more or less the same things we were. And just leave you with that thought today. He's got some pretty interesting thoughts. And for me, it kind of resonated a little for those moments in time where we don't really have the willpower or the desire to get up in the morning and do what needs to be done for today. And he kind of puts it into what I think is a pretty interesting perspective. So, hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think and what you think he means. There's Mr. Phillip. Hi, Mr. Phillip.